Coming up on UCF Nightly News, we have the details on a reported rape on campus. We'll tell you where it happened and what UCF officials have to say.
And some UCF students are working to lift a popular federal ban. Find out how the group is bringing more attention to the gay community.
You said to be filling that week in and week out in Major League Soccer.
And Orlando City Soccer is moving on up. We'll tell you how the team plans to expand after getting the okay to build the new soccer stadium.
UCF Nightly News starts right now.
Good afternoon and welcome to UCF Nightly News. I'm Caitlin Chana.
And I'm Simone Davis. Today is Friday, November 1st. UCF police say they are still investigating a reported sexual assault that happened on campus over the weekend. The incident is the second sexual assault this year. It occurred around 1 a.m. in Parking Garage B on Sunday. The attacker is believed to be a white male around 5'7" with blonde hair and goes by the name of Ted. UCF police is asking students with any information to call 407-823-5555. UCF officials have some tips on how students can stay safe.
A lot of it's common sense. It's don't go out alone, have a cell phone with you, tell people where you're going to be going. If alcohol is going to be involved, and even have a designated driver. Those types of things can go a long way to help keep you from being in an unsafe situation.
To see the full police report, go to nightlynews.ucf.edu. Nightly News will keep you updated on any new information we have about this case.
In other news, a UCF student is campaigning to change a major ban set in place by the FDA. Nightly News reporter Kat Page tells us more about this group and its mission to change blood donation policies.
Representatives at America's Blood Center say someone needs a blood transfusion every 2 seconds. That's one of the reasons why UCF student Blake Lynch continues to campaign to change a major policy set in place by the Food and Drug Administration. Lynch says he started the nonprofit organization Band for Life after he wasn't allowed to donate himself.
I was ready to go give, and they said, sorry, you can't get blood. You're banned for life. And I'm like, why am I banned for life? And it's because I'm gay.
Since its enactment in 1983, the FDA policy states men who have had sexual contact with other men are forbidden to donate blood. Lynch and his partner Brett Donnelly say they started Band for Life to protest the policy and to encourage others to donate in place of those who can't.
They've never had the social pressure. That's what Band for Life does. You know, we're sort of putting it in their face. You know, we're letting people know. We're letting people get angry, but then we're helping give them the tools to turn it into a positive.
Representatives for One Blood Center say the group provides another outlet for blood donation for those who are eligible.
Oh, blood is always a need. You know, 24 hours a day, 7 days a week. People need transfusions in hospitals, so blood donations always have to happen. So that's always the case. And anytime we have the opportunity to have more eligible donors, we certainly advocate any change.
While the FDA hasn't taken any measures to change the policy, Lynch remains hopeful.
The main goal is for us to be able to donate blood, so we need to focus on getting more blood donors. I mean, that's what we want to do just as regular people.
In Orlando, Kat Page, UCF Nightly News.
Lynch and Donnelly say Band for Life plans to hold more blood drives and donation rallies across the country, including right here in Central Florida. Also right here in Central Florida, Orlando City Soccer is getting ready to finally join the MLS. Reporter Kenny Morales joins us to share a little more about what the president of Orlando City Soccer told him on their one-on-one interview. Hey, Kenny.
Hey, Caitlin, that's right. I sat down with Orlando City Soccer president Phil Rollins, and he told me that the club officials plan to make the team one of the most successful in the MLS, both on and off the field.
Our goal is to sell the stadium out every week.
The future has never looked brighter for Central Florida soccer fans. After county commissioners voted last week to approve a new professional soccer stadium, Orlando City Soccer president Phil Rollins says it's only a matter of time.
If everything goes according to plan, then we will definitely have an announcement about the expansion franchise and Orlando being the 21st MLS team here before the end of the year.
Rollins says that the club's jump from the United Soccer League to the MLS isn't uncharted territory. Current MLS teams in Vancouver,
And it's straight down the middle.
Seattle,
It's turned in!
Portland,
Oh, it's beautiful play!
and Montreal
It comes in, oh yeah.
have all made the same transition, a transition that Rollins says has proven to be very successful in attracting fans.
If we look at that track record, their increase from minor leagues to major leagues, excluding Seattle, which tends to skew the numbers because they're such a great supported club right now. If you exclude Seattle, there's a jump of about 160% from USL to MLS.
Orlando City officials hope to kick off their MLS debut by the start of the 2015 season.
Rollins says that the new stadium will create around 250 new jobs, the majority of which he hopes will be Paramore-era residents.
Well, Kenny, you look like a soccer player with that sporty new do.
Thank you, Caitlin. I actually decided to try it out after, day after Halloween, try and show my best soccer player impersonation. Not everyone in the newsroom was feeling it like you guys here on the desk, but I'm glad you guys like it.
Yes.
No, I love it. And speaking of Halloween, the weather was great yesterday, but I heard there's going to be some rain coming up. Stacia, what's the update on this weekend?
That's right, guys. The weather is going to be creeping in. The rain's going to roll in right around this evening. The high today is going to be around 89 with a low of 72. There is that 40% chance of rain, and the current temp feels like 72. I will have a little more for your weather a little later in the broadcast.
Still ahead on UCF Nightly News, how does stress affect your weight? We'll tell you how health experts say college takes a toll on more than just your brain and what you can do to stay fit.
And looking to make some extra cash during the holidays? Find out which companies are hiring seasonal workers.
Millions of students attend college every year, and most know about that dreaded freshman 15. I know I do. Nightly News reporter Stacia Strong tells us what the latest research says about weight gain that might just surprise you.
Maybe I gained 15 pounds in freshman 15, got that.
If you walk onto a college campus anywhere in the U.S., chances are you'll find someone who knows about the freshman 15, the supposed amount of weight students gain during their freshman year of school.
In high school, I had my mom cooking some meals. I had all the stuff there that I could readily prepare a healthy meal if I needed to. but also in college, you're more independent.
Research by Auburn University found that nearly 70% of students gained weight throughout their entire 4 years. But not just the initial 15 pounds. They averaged anywhere from 12 to 37 pounds throughout this time period. But not all students here on campus agree.
Let's actually try and think about what you're trying to eat or put in your body right now, because you're pretty much an adult and no one's gonna be like, hey, you should probably go run today. I'm like, well, I'm not gonna run. So let me try and eat something that's nice.
Experts at the Recreational Wellness Center tell me students shouldn't worry though. There are several ways to keep from gaining that extra weight, starting with a cardio workout 3 to 5 times a week.
I see a lot of not only weight gain issues, but a lot of medical or health problems within their 4 years of college. It's not just about freshman 15 anymore.
There are a few simple tips health experts say you can use to stay healthy. Get at least 6 hours of sleep at night, eat breakfast, drink plenty of water, stay physically active, and eat balanced meals. In Orlando, Stacia Strong, UCF Nightly News.
For more information on ways you can stay healthy, visit our website at nightlynews.ucf.edu.
Here at UCF, students are encouraged to be proud of who they are regardless of their race, their gender, nationality, color, or sex. But does this change once we enter into the workforce? I spoke with representatives from LGBTQ and UCF Legal Services to hear their thoughts on how out someone should or even can be in the workplace.
Look like a straight woman.
Chelsea Bender is a graduate assistant for LGBTQ services at UCF, who hopes to become a social worker. However, Bender's identity may stand in the way.
A lot of social services are faith-based agencies, and that might be an issue there because they don't have the requirement that they have to hire people like me. Like, there's no protection there.
Under federal law, U.S. citizens cannot be discriminated from employment due to race, color, religion, sex, or national origin. But does sex include transgenders or sexual orientation? UCF Legal Services staff attorney Jamie Owen says the lines are blurred.
Federal law nor Florida state law explicitly protects sexual orientation nor gender identity. So in many places in the country, and indeed many places in the state of Florida, you can be fired simply for being gay.
That's because Florida is a right-to-work state, meaning an employer does not have to have a reason to fire their employee. Owen says in certain jurisdictions, an employee can only file a complaint for employee discrimination. And even if you are allowed to file a lawsuit against your employer, you're in for a fight.
How do you know why you were not chosen?
And for the LGBTQ community applying for jobs, Owen says the best thing to do is know your employer, know where you're applying, and most important, know the law.
Especially these days when it's so competitive, there's definitely usually more applicants for the job than there is that. How do you know it's because you listed that you were an executive board member with, Pride Coalition?
It's always going to be a positive thing to have more information about the protections that are in place. It's always a positive thing to know more about your rights and how you can protect yourself.
To learn more on employment discrimination, visit nightlynews.ucf.edu under the News tab.
While many students may be looking for jobs, employers are starting to hire for the holiday season. Retail stores and theme parks here in Central Florida are hiring thousands of part-time and full-time seasonal employees. Orlando company representatives say these positions vary in responsibilities and may require hirees to work evenings, weekends, or overnight shifts. SeaWorld Orlando hosted a job fair this week to bring hundreds of seasonal workers aboard.
We are looking for individuals to come in and work with our Christmas season because Christmas at SeaWorld is spectacular. And we need about 200, 250 people to help us to get through that season.
Also, other Orlando companies want you to join their holiday team. These companies tell us they're hiring: Macy's, Bloomingdale's, Target, Walt Disney World, and Universal Studios. Visit our website at nightlynews.ucf.edu under the News tab to get the details on where you can apply for these jobs.
And if you don't want to work for someone else, but you're interested in starting your own business, officials from UCF's Blackstone Launchpad Center want to speak with you. They hosted the largest trick-or-treating event at UCF on Thursday. The event showcased entrepreneurship as an after-college option for students from all different career paths and majors. It was Halloween themed and students received more than 6,000 pieces of candy, 1,600 slices of pizza, and other treats. The event also played host to several of the community's local business owners, like Holly Wilder from Sweet Cupcakes.
It's not about building a logo and a website. It's just not. You know, it's about relationships with people. You start with relationships with people.
We told you last week about an innovative competition coming to UCF. The Big Idea event was held on Thursday in the Pegasus Ballroom. A judge chose 10 students to compete in the finals at the Starter Riot event. The competitors were given 90 seconds to pitch their idea in front of a panel of judges who also started their own businesses. The big winner of the event, Ashley Miller, took home $750.
When we come back, alcohol may not have as strong as an impact as people think it does. Find out what a team of UCF researchers say can also affect your buzz.
And some UCF students proved you don't have to go trick-or-treating to enjoy Halloween. Find out what spooky events the UCF community brought to celebrate the holiday. We all know alcohol can make us do some crazy things, but one UCF team of researchers say how people feel while drinking isn't caused by alcohol, but what they think alcohol will do. The researchers say alcohol is a depressant that causes dizziness and nausea, yet students associate alcohol with having a good time. Experts say this message is actually a result of watching media. That's because media showcases drinking with beautiful people, dancing, and having a social life. This team recently received a grant to develop an app to reduce high-risk drinking among college students. UCF student Elisa Dietz is working on creating this self-guided app to increase awareness on drinking behaviors.
And so I want to make it fun, we want to make it interactive, and we want to make it resonate with the individual, and we want them to want to use it. And so that's the goal.
Are you not getting along with your coworker or maybe your roommate? If you aren't, UCF's Integrity and Ethic Development Office has some tips for students who may have a disagreement with other people they live or work with. On Tuesday, students listened to a lecture on how to interact with others. The event, known as We Come Together from Two Different Worlds, helps students learn how to handle confrontation in the workplace and in school. Ethics experts say these issues stem from competition and feeling that everyone needs to be friends. They also explain students need to be willing to improve listening skills and ask questions.
Be inquisitive. Educate yourself on other people that surround you. The better you know about somebody else, the better colleague, co-worker, roommate, classmate, whatever the relationship has to be, that you will become.
Stay close, stay together, and whatever you do, don't scream. That's what UCF students were told to do during the UCF's Night of the Living Dead. Hundreds of students lined up Wednesday night at Lake Claire to walk through the Trail of Terror. Mad doctors led students dressed as UCF victims and more than 40 zombies across the trail. For those lucky survivors that made it through unharmed, Knights Plaza held a survivor after party. Well, the weather was great for Halloween, but will it continue for the rest of the weekend? Let's check with Stacia with our weather. Stacia, how's it going?
Thanks, Simone. It's going pretty good. The weather outside is beautiful. It's not going to stay that way for too long, but let's go ahead and take a look at our state temperatures. All the way up in Tallahassee, they're the coolest at 81. Over in Jacksonville is looking really nice at 87. Down in the Bay Area, it's 86. Orlando is the hottest at 89, and all the way down in Miami is a cool 88. Let's go ahead and take a look at our national temperature map. Once again, you can see, like I said, the southern region really warm, slightly cooler than in the past weeks. They're going to have some 70s and 60s weather, but really the colder weather is still up in the north. The northeast is finally going to be getting some snow and a lot of rain. Over in the western part of the country, a lot of snow, a lot of rain, just some really nasty weather that they're seeing. Let's go ahead now and take a look at our national precipitation map. That low pressure system I was talking about is going to bring in this cool weather across the top of Florida. It's only going to stay until Saturday. Sunday is going to climb back up slowly. As you can see, there's a high pressure system in the north. That's going to be where that rain is coming from. The west, they have a bunch of low pressure systems going on. There's a lot of snow and a lot of rain. I'm going to move out of the way for your 5-day forecast. Friday is looking good with a high of 89 and a low of 72. Rain is 40% chance. That's going to be in the evening. Saturday, the high is 80. We have a huge chance of rain, 60%. The low is going to be 58. Sunday and Monday are cooling up with 77 degrees and 80. Tuesday is looking good at 84. They're going to have no chance of rain, basically. That's all I have for right now. Let's go ahead and send it back to Simone and Caitlin at the desk.
Thanks, Stacia. Still ahead on UCF Nightly News. It's been a slow week for UCF sports.
You're right, Simone. While many UCF squads enjoyed a long week of rest, the Orlando Magic finally took to the court for the start of the NBA season. And UCF football is gearing up for its homecoming game next Saturday in a battle against Houston with first place implications on the line. Kenny Morales tells us what fans can expect in the upcoming weeks after a quick timeout. Sports is up next.
Welcome back, Knights fans, to your UCF Sports Update. I'm Kenny Morales. The talk around campus this year has been all about UCF football, but it's time to show some love to our very first UCF squad to win the American Conference. I'm talking, of course, about the UCF women's soccer team. The Knights won the regular season title last Sunday after defeating SMU 1-0. UCF went unbeaten in their first season as a member of the AAC with a conference record of 8 wins, 0 losses, and just a single tie. The Knights will have a first-round bye for the conference tournament as well as home field advantage. UCF will play the winner of SMU and Temple in the quarterfinals on Sunday, November 3rd at the UCF Track and Soccer Complex. With soccer starting to wrap up and football season in full swing, it's finally time for some Orlando Magic basketball. Celebrating their silver anniversary, the Magic kicked off their 25th season opener against the Indiana Pacers on Sunday. Coming home party for former Indiana guard and Orlando's second overall pick, Victor Oladipo. He was quick to drain the first NBA bucket of his career, and he would finish the night with 12 points. The Magic tried to keep up with the athletic Pacers, but Pacers star Paul George proved too much to handle, dropping 24 points on Orlando. Indiana would go on to win 97-87. And speaking of homecomings, we are only 8 days away from UCF football's homecoming game against Houston. After quarterback Blake Bortles and company sliced and diced up UConn's defense, Top Chef style, to the tune of 62 points last week, the Knights will now play host to the Houston Cougars. UCF is currently tied up with the Cougars for first place of the American Athletic Conference. After earning their highest ranking in school history last week, a win over Houston would surely push the Knights even higher up the polls and strengthen their chances for a BCS Bowl bid. That's all we have for your sports update. Let's go ahead and kick it back to the desk with Simone, Stacia, and Caitlin.
Thanks, Kenny. You know, Simone, I'm looking forward to homecoming. I don't know about you.
Well, I am too, but I really hope this weather, keeps going.
Yes.
Let's take a look at our final forecast. Is it going to keep on going for us?
Well, Saturday is going to be a little rough. The high today is around 89, and right now it feels about 72. That's all I have for you right now.
That's all the time we have for now. Thanks for joining us.
If you have a story idea or a comment about something you've seen here on Nightly News, email us at nightlynews.ucf.edu.
And be sure to check us out online in English and in Spanish at nightlynews.ucf.edu. Join us here again next week. Until then, have a great weekend.